We're stuck in Vermont.
Nobody's going to dictate culture from the top. It's just got to be amazing women in the room that change it.
Welcome to Stuck in Vermont, brought to you by 7 Days and sponsored by Hotel Vermont and New England Federal Credit Union. My name is Ava Salzberger. We are here at Hotel Vermont in Burlington, Vermont for the Female Founders Speaker Series. This is season 2. Tonight we have the CEO of Burton Snowboards, Donna Carpenter. She's brought some other women leaders from Burton with her, and they're going to talk about building a global brand in Vermont.
And perhaps most importantly, 45% of Burton's leadership team is female.
Snowboarding wasn't a solitary journey. We had people who were helping us build the brand all along the way, and those are amazing women who've, you know, really been a part of it and part of the journey and part of the tribe and part of the family and part of the commitment.
Women rock, and you know, women really are changing the shape and face of business, that how they approach business and what they do in the world is really different, and it's really needed.
Vermont has so many amazing female entrepreneurs, and I think that the general public isn't totally aware of that.
In Vermont too, like, we're still old school. You still need people face-to-face, personal interactions. This is where the real work gets done.
And it's honestly the best way to inspire more female-founded businesses is to hear these stories of the successes and even some of the failures. I mean, when you demystify the journey of the entrepreneur, you encourage more people to start businesses.
And when I started the Women's Leadership Initiative 14 years ago, and I had that oh shit moment of we are behind the curve, less than 10% of our leadership are female, we're in trouble, we need to do something about it.
I also feel really fortunate to be in Vermont, to have these types of opportunities to hear from other women, other business owners, especially the caliber of Burton.
Anything like this is great for entrepreneurs, I think, just to be inspired. I mean, I remember those days where you wanted to give up, and just to have someone say, you can do it, you can keep going, and here's a connection or whatever.
You know, Donna and I had this tagline we came up with a number of years ago, that we wanted to be the employer of choice and brand of choice for women. And that was a very powerful moment, I think, for us when we realized, yeah, that's, when you think of it that way, we want to be as committed to kind of our business and our commerce as we are to the women that are in-house and what they're doing, and attract more women through that.
So that kind of leadership is very important for women to see and to be able to feel in the state of Vermont.
Like, they started talking about women's products, and all of a sudden they all look at me as if I had the answer to represent every female across the world. Coming into Burton, it's not a thing. I'm a leader. I get to focus on my job.
You know, when I paid for women to go to the March on Washington, we got some nasty comments. I mean, I would say that overwhelmingly our customers supported us, and you know, we got good attention from it, but you had those people out there that were on there hating us on it.
Yeah, I think the more we can rise up together, help each other rise, support women working together.
When women work, families are happier, communities are healthier. So having women in well-paying jobs, doing things that they love, doing things that feed them, and then therefore also indirectly feed their family and feed the community.
Even if it's a hard day, there is this feeling of inspiration where, like, you just don't know what's going to happen in your next meeting, and there is a real sense of collaboration. I would say keep it collaborative, keep it moving, keep it dynamic, and I think those are, you know, kind of pillars of success.
And I'm also a female founder myself, so I'm psyched to be here to listen to other female founder stories. I was a co-founder of a small, compared to Burton, tiny little outdoor women's clothing company called ISIS. It's exciting.
Yeah, so I'm an entrepreneur starting my own small business, anxious to learn from people who've been there, especially on this type of scale when you're talking about an amazing global brand like Burton.
I'm here tonight to help promote women in the industry, working women, entrepreneurs like myself.
I think that women are making inroads. There's so many female entrepreneurs in the state.
Between 2007 and 2012, there was actually twice as many women-started businesses as men-started businesses. So it's absolutely trending up, and the more female-started businesses, the better. I mean, entrepreneurship is definitely the fastest path that we have to wealth in the state.
Women are so concerned they don't have all the qualifications for the next step. You're never 100% ready. You just have to count on your intuition, your ability to work hard, learn new things, be curious, and that
Like
is
having a baby. You
the
never
best
had
advice.
Whew, it's not easy. I have 2 young children. It's a balancing act. Some days are good, some days are bad.
The more businesses that we have in the state, the more jobs there are, and it's not necessarily just more jobs in general, but higher paying jobs that's the problem.
43% of women in Vermont are having a hard time, even though they're working full-time, making their basic living expenses. So these kinds of opportunities to network and to show the strength of women in positions is really good for us.
I think what Jake and Donna have done is really taught us that sense of like act like an owner, like think like an entrepreneur. Don't kind of come in and wait for the perfect guidelines of like this is how you do your job. Rewarding courage and rewarding that, as Beth said, that raise your hand, like we're opening 25 flagship stores, like I want to lead that. That sounds incredible and here's why I can, and sounds good.
So we started this in January 2017 with a 6-event series, a variety of industries represented, and 13 female founders. We had over 400 attendees. Every event sold out. We raised over $5,000 for a variety of charities and nonprofits across the state.
Vermont Works for Women is one of the beneficiaries of the proceeds from the event.
Vermont's always been part of our DNA, and if you go into any store of ours around the world, you feel a little bit like you're in Vermont.
You know, I really connected hearing from the panel tonight about bringing a presence, not being afraid to be who you are. You know, I heard them say a few times, leaning in.
There is still a need in our community for this kind of advancement for women and support for women.
I'm going to retire when we're 51% of leadership, 51% of sales, and 51% of participation in snowboarding. So that's when I can retire.
There's been a need for a revolution for a long time, and I think that women are the ones that are going to be at the helm.
That's what I learned, that there's partners in this. We're not all alone.
We're all starting at the same place, and to be able to lean in and work your way up, it's absolutely inspiring to see what they've been able to accomplish.
Please give our speakers a hand for sharing their time with us.
There are 2 more events in this series, and you can come check them out here at Hotel Vermont. And we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Sign up for our weekly email alerts. 7 Days is a company run by 2 amazing women, Pamela Polston, Paula Routley. So I love hearing more about female founders.
Vermont had these cottage industry laws, which allowed you to have employees in your home. I think a lot of hat makers did it or whatever. I think we were breaking all the rules when we had like 6 people and we're dipping shit in urethane and the smell is going or whatever.